Let's be honest. Before Game of Thrones, most fantasy shows followed a pretty simple formula. You get a hero, you get a villain, the hero wins, everybody goes home happy. Then Game of Thrones showed up and basically said, what if we did none of that? And that's exactly why Season 1 became legendary. This isn't just the beginning of a TV show. It's the beginning of one of the biggest television phenomena in history. The season opens in the cold wilderness beyond the wall. 3 rangers are exploring a frozen forest. Something feels wrong immediately. The atmosphere is creepy. The music is unsettling. And before you can get comfortable, the show delivers its first warning. Nobody is safe. Most shows spend episodes trying to make viewers feel secure. Game of Thrones spends 5 minutes doing the exact opposite. Then we travel south and meet the Stark family. At first glance, the Starks seem like the perfect fantasy family. Ned Stark is honorable. Catelyn is loyal. Robb is responsible. Arya is rebellious. Sansa dreams of becoming a princess. Bran loves adventure. Jon Snow is searching for his place in the world. They're the kind of family you instantly root for, which is exactly why George R.R. Martin decided to make their lives miserable. Seriously. Looking back, Season 1 is basically 12 hours of Westeros finding new ways to ruin the Stark family's day. Then King Robert Baratheon arrives. And what an entrance. Robert isn't the wise king from fairy tales. He's loud, he's reckless, he drinks constantly, he avoids responsibility whenever possible. Imagine if your funniest uncle somehow became king. That's Robert Baratheon. The moment he arrives at Winterfell, he asks Ned Stark to become Hand of the King. Now, if you've watched the show before, you already know this is the Westeros equivalent of accepting a cursed job offer. The previous Hand died mysteriously. The capital is full of corruption, and everyone is hiding secrets. But Ned agrees, because Ned Stark believes honesty can solve problems. Unfortunately, King's Landing believes honesty is a weakness. And that's where the tragedy begins. One of the smartest decisions this season makes is introducing characters slowly. Take Tyrion Lannister. At first, he looks like comic relief. He's drinking wine, making jokes, insulting people, living his best life. But underneath the humor is one of the most intelligent characters in television history. Tyrion understands something most characters don't. People are predictable. And because he understands people, he survives situations that would destroy everyone else. Every time Tyrion appears on screen, the episode instantly becomes more entertaining. Meanwhile, Jon Snow heads north to join the Night's Watch. He imagines honor, purpose, adventure. Instead, he finds criminals, outcasts, and people who would rather fight than cooperate. It's basically the world's coldest and most depressing workplace. But Jon's storyline works because it challenges his expectations. He arrives expecting heroes, he finds reality. And that's a theme you'll see throughout the entire season. Nobody gets what they expect. Not Jon, not Ned, not the audience. Then there's Daenerys Targaryen, and honestly, her transformation might be the most satisfying part of Season 1. When we first meet her, she's scared and powerless. She's controlled by her brother, used as a political tool, ignored by almost everyone. But episode by episode, she changes. She becomes stronger, more confident, more fearless. What makes her journey compelling is that you can actually see her growth happening. Every challenge teaches her something. Every setback makes her tougher. By the end of the season, she's almost unrecognizable from the girl we met in Episode 1. And that's incredible character development. But let's talk about what really made Game of Thrones addictive: the politics. Most fantasy shows focus on action. Game of Thrones focuses on conversations. And somehow, those conversations are more intense than battles. Characters sit around tables talking, yet every word feels dangerous. Every smile feels suspicious. Every alliance feels temporary. Every conversation could start a war. That's masterful writing. The show trusts viewers to pay attention. It doesn't explain everything. It doesn't hold your hand. It rewards you for noticing details. Then comes the moment that shocked television audiences around the world. Ned Stark's execution. Even if you've never watched Game of Thrones, you've probably heard about this scene. Because it changed everything. Up until that point, viewers believed Ned was the main character. He had all the qualities main characters usually have: honor, courage, integrity. But Game of Thrones wasn't interested in traditional storytelling. The show wanted consequences, and in this world, good intentions aren't enough. When Ned dies, viewers realize something terrifying. Nobody has plot armor. Nobody is guaranteed to survive. And suddenly, every future episode becomes unpredictable. That single moment elevated Game of Thrones from a popular show to a cultural phenomenon. But somehow, the season still isn't finished. The finale delivers one final unforgettable moment. Daenerys walks into the flames. The music builds. The fire rises. And when the smoke clears, 3 dragons emerge. For the first time in generations, dragons have returned to the world. It's one of the greatest season endings in television history. Season 1 succeeds because it combines incredible characters, political intrigue, emotional storytelling, shocking twists, and world-building unlike anything audiences had seen before. It's funny, it's tragic, it's exciting, it's heartbreaking, and most importantly, it's unpredictable. Even years later, Season 1 remains one of the strongest first seasons ever made, not just in fantasy television, in television, period. Rating 10 out of 10. A masterpiece that completely changed the TV landscape and created one of the biggest fan communities in entertainment history.